Hi boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 11.9, Multiplication, Division, Fact Practice. The materials that you'll need today, your pencil, notebook, math journal, template, and then HomeLink 11.9. If you don't have HomeLink 11.9, that's okay. You can use either your notebook or whiteboard to work out the problems. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is go over our math boxes from the previous lesson. So if you can open up your math journal to page 284. If you're noticing that you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. So for our first question, we are subtracting. So we have 90 minus 64. I can't do 0 minus 4, so I went next door, I changed my 9 to an 8, and changed my 0 to a 10. 10 minus 4 is 6, and then 8 minus 6 is 2. Then I had 37 minus 18, so I went next door, I changed my 3 to a 2, my 7 becomes a 17, 17 minus 8 is 9, and then 2 minus 1 is 1. The unit I chose to use was cats. For question 2, what is the median or the middle value for the list of numbers? So I put my numbers in order and then started crossing off to get that middle number of 41. For question 3, draw a line segment that's 3 centimeters long. So I'm going to bring up my ruler. I'm going to line up my 0 and my 3. Then the second thing, you needed to draw a line segment that was 4 centimeters longer than the first one. So 3 plus 4 is 7. So you can see how I line up my 0 and it goes all the way to the 7. Then for the last one, draw a line segment twice as long as the first. So 3 times 2 is 6. So your last one should be 6 centimeters long. So double check to make sure you have your lines drawn correctly. For question 4, you could either use 21 counters or you could make an array. So I divided my array into 3 equal groups. And if I have one of those equal groups, that will be a total of 7. If I divide them into sevenths going the opposite direction and I have 2 of the sevenths, that would be a total of 6. If I have 3/3, that's the same as saying 1 whole. So if I have the whole thing, that would be 21 counters. For question 5, complete the frames. So I started with 1,523. I added 100 to get 1,623. Subtract 10, 1,613. Add 100, 1,713. Subtract 10, 1,703. And then add 100, 1,803. And then for number 6, find the mode, the number that occurs the most often, which you should have found 713 because that number happens 2 times. So double check to make sure you have your page correct before moving on to the next part of the lesson. For the next part of the lesson, if you can use either your whiteboard or a notebook paper, if the speed is too fast, pause as often as needed. So for these first questions, we're going to estimate, and sometimes we might estimate to the nearest dollar or maybe to the nearest 10 cents. This first one, let's estimate to the nearest dollar. So I know that 99 cents is close to $1 and $2.99 is close to $3. So $1 plus $3 equals $4. For this next one, why don't you go to the nearest 10 cents? Press pause and play when you're ready to check. So for this next one, I would have had 90 cents because I have 20 cents plus 70 cents. Once you press pause and try rounding both of these two, how about this first one to the nearest 50 cents and this one to the nearest dollar? So $1.49 would round to $1.50, and then I would have $3 when I'm adding those two together. $3.99 is very close to 4, and $1.95 is close to $2. So I would have $6. Will you try estimating these next two? Press pause and then play when you're ready to check. So for this one, I thought $1.68 was pretty close to $1.70, and then I rounded this to $1.30 to get my total of $3. And for the last one, I rounded both sides to they're both pretty close to $5 to get a total of $10. Now you can put your notebook or your whiteboard to the side, and we'll take a look at HomeLink 11.9 next. So for this one, we're working on fact families. So you can see we use the numbers 5, 7, and 35 to fill that out. If you can, press pause to fill in your fact families for all 4 of the problems, and then press play when you're ready to check. All right, so finishing number 1, we should have added 7 times 5 equals 35, and then 35 divided by 7 equals 5. For question 2, when we're working with 3, 6, and 18, we would have had 3 times 6 equals 18, 6 times 3 equals 18, 18 divided by 3 equals 6, and 18 divided by 6 equals 3. When we have 4, 6, and 24, we would have had 4 times 6 equals 24, 6 times 4 equals 24, 24 divided by 6 equals 4, and 24 divided by 4 equals 6. And for the last one, we have 5, 6, and 30. So we should have had 5 times 6 equals 30, 6 times 5 equals 30, and then 30 divided by 5 equals 6, and 30 divided by 6 equals 5. The last part of our lesson, we'll talk about MathBox page and looking at page 285. So for question number 1, each ladybug has 5 spots, and there's 20 spots in all. How many ladybugs? If you can fill in the diagram and write a number model to go with. For question 2, you're multiplying and then also giving me the unit. For question 3, you're adding 19 to each of these numbers. So if I look at this one, I'm looking at 43 plus 19. A little trick, I could think 43 plus 20, and then I could subtract 1. But you'll write down your answer for each of those going around. For question 4, write the number that is 1,000 more than each of those numbers. For question 5, draw a line 1 inch long and then draw another line that's twice as long. And for question 6, find the rule and then complete the table. All right, I'll see you next time.